Good morning. How are you? I hope you're doing well. So we're going to start a new section of Chapter 6. Chapter 6 is on something called systems. We have worked on systems of inequalities, so that's where we graphed two lines, and we looked for the double shaded area. Now we don't have shading. We just graph two lines and see where they intersect. So there'll be one intersection point, and that intersection point is the answer. It's the solution to the problem. So a system means more than one equation at a time. When you get into Algebra 2 Trig, you could be working with systems with 3 equations, 4 equations. But we're sticking with 2 in Algebra 1. So let's take a look at our new question, our first one. Here we go. 4 pencils and 2 erasers cost 74 cents. Cool. 6 pencils and 5 erasers cost $1.53. Find the cost of a pencil and an eraser. So let's think about what we do know. We are purchasing items. Perfect. We are purchasing pencils and erasers. The first time this person went shopping, they got pencils and erasers and there was a total. The second time they went shopping, they still got pencils and erasers. It's a new total. They're asking us the question of how much is a single eraser and how much is a single pencil. So we're solving this mystery. Now, there's only one way to set up the problem, but there are actually 3 ways to solve. You could graph it. This one is not going to be set up for graphing, and we'll see why in just a moment. Or we can solve it using something called elimination or the addition method. When I was in high school, my teacher called it the elimination method. I think your textbook calls it the addition method, same thing. And there's a third way called the substitution method. And when you move on to geometry and Algebra 2 Trig, I'm going to be honest, the number one technique that most teachers use is substitution. But let's see how this one's set up. That setup is going to tell us which of the 3 techniques, graphing, elimination, or substitution, is the right technique or the easiest technique for this setup. So again, let's read it one more time. We have 4 pencils and 2 erasers that cost 74 cents. Okay, so we can see that a pencil, we're going to use P. If you want to use X, you're welcome to do so. So you would put a little X right there. An eraser is going to be E, or if you want to use Y, you can use Y. A lot of students do like to use X and Y because, well, that's just what they're used to. You're welcome to use X and Y, but I would put this little thing to the side so you know who is who. Like, who is the eraser? Who is the pencil? I know you think, oh, I won't forget that. Trust me, you might forget that. So just in case, you put this little thing to the side so that your brain remembers. I'm gonna use P and E just because I can. So it says 4 pencils, 4 P's. Plus, because we're buying more things at the store, we're adding to our cart. 2 erasers, 2E, equals 0.74. Cool, that's your first equation. Congratulations. Can you set up the second one by yourself? Go for it. I'll give you 10 seconds. Go. Got it? Cool. 6 pencils and 5 erasers. And that's $1.53. Nice, nice. So that is the setup. Cool. I'd like you to set up the 2 problems that are below this one. Go ahead and do the setup. The next one is about tacos and milk. And then the next one after that is about apples and pears. So this video is just going to be about setups. Can you set these up correctly? So please set up the 2 down below. Go. You got it? Cool. Well, let's go back. Again, you can use whatever letter you want, also known as a variable. You want to use X and Y? Go for it. You want to use A and B for everything? Cool beans. Do what you want. Okay? So this one is about a taco, milk costing a certain amount, tacos, milks costing a certain amount, find the cost of a single taco and a single milk. This time you notice that it's not set, like the little boxes aren't there for you, so we're gonna have to do it ourselves. So this first sentence, T for taco, M for milk, or use whatever letters you want. So we have one taco plus one milk is $2.10. Miss Miller, do I have to put the one? I would. I highly recommend you put the one. Even if you're a kiddo who's not as much of a visual learner as myself, I highly recommend it. It's gonna help you at the end, I promise. Next, 2 tacos plus 3 milks is $5.15. Now I wanna point out something too that's very important. Do you see how the tacos are lined up? Do you see how the pluses are lined up? You see how the milks are lined up? The equal signs and the totals? That's pretty important. This type of setup is really guiding me towards a single technique, and that's not gonna be graphing. I think graphing is the weakest of the 3 methods. This one to me is the addition method because it looks like it's being nicely lined up, kind of like place value. When you were in kindergarten, first grade, your tens, your hundreds, your thousands positions. You can see that the tacos are lined up, the milks are lined up, the totals are lined up. So the addition method, also known as the elimination method, would be the #1 technique for this guy. Let's set up the next one, go. This one's about pears and apples. Pears and apples. Now again, you can use whatever letters you want, but what if this was pears and papayas? They both start with P. So you would have to change up your letters in that one because you can't use P for both, okay? But this one we're pretty good. I'm gonna use P for pear. And I'm gonna use A for apple. Cool, let's write this one. We have 4 pears plus 5 apples, and it's $3.56. We have 3 pears and 4 apples, and that costs $2.76. The pears are lined up, the apples are lined up, our equals and our totals. Looks good to me. We just need to learn how to solve it. I would like you to turn this worksheet over and set up the back 3 right now. So if you want to pause this video, that would be great. Take some time, do your little what is each letter equal to, and then set up your system. Again, a system is where we're solving more than one equation at the same time because we don't have just one single unknown. We don't know pears and we don't know apples. We don't know either one. We have 2 unknowns that we're going to be solving for. So go ahead and pause the video, flip your worksheet over, and set up the 3 on the back. Go for it. Welcome back. Did you set them up? No? Don't watch this video then. You got to set it up. Without a risk, there can be no progress. When it comes to math or anything that you're learning in this world, if you're not willing to take a risk, you will not progress. You will not learn it. You got to take a risk. Do it in pencil. What's the worst thing? You're going to have to turn your pencil around and erase. I still make mistakes. Gosh, I make mistakes all the time still. It's okay. I use pencil or this beautiful thing that I can just wipe up with my hand. So take a risk. I want you to learn this. It's some cool stuff. I like this stuff. So we have hamburgers and Coca-Colas. So I'm going to use H for hamburger. And we're going to use C for Coke. Again, if you want to use X and Y, you do your thing, okay? Make sure you're giving yourself space because we were going to solve these. So I wouldn't like take up all the space here. You need space to solve. So we're going to have 2 hamburgers and we're adding to our order 3 Coca-Colas, and that's $6.75. Next, we have 3 hamburgers. Notice how I'm lining it up, plus 4 Cokes, and that's going to be $9.50. Cool. That's your setup. I hope you got it. Did you get it? Nice. Let's do the next one. My favorite, candy. So we have candy bars and suckers, like a lollipop. Okay, so we're gonna use C for candy bar. And we're gonna use S for a sucker. If you wanna do L for lollipop, because that makes more sense to you, you do your thing. We have 2 candy bars and 3 suckers, and it cost $3. I know it's 0 change, but I would do the 0.00. I promise you it's gonna help you out. Next, we have 1 candy bar. Use the 1, please, and notice it's right underneath the other candy bar. 4 suckers, and that is $2.75. Did you get it? Cool beans. Next, we have highlighters and pens. I'm gonna use H for highlighter. Holy monkeys. And we're gonna use P for pen. Cool. What if it was erasable pen? You could use E for erasable pen, or P for erasable pen, or X or Y. It really doesn't matter. Just set up a little system so that you do know what it means. And if a person were to look at your work, they would also know what it means too. Just keeping people in the know. So we have 4 highlighters plus 4 pens, $3. Include that 0.00, my friends. It's gonna come in handy later when we start solving. And next we have 2 highlighters plus 3 pens, and that is $1.95. Cool, congratulations. You have them all set up. They're not too bad, huh? I know, cool. I'm proud of you. You got this, bye.